Hello, today we're going to be making friendship bracelets. This one is called the Chevron. Um, what you're going to want to do is pick out your colors. For this one, my favorite color is orange, and both of my friends' favorite colors are purple, so I did a light purple and a dark purple. And you're going to want to measure out the string. And to measure it out, you're going to want to find the end first, obviously, and then just measure out your wings, and that is the size you're going to want for all three strings. You can do as many strings as you want, and you can do whatever colors you want. And so yeah, the possibilities are endless pretty much. This one is a very beginner friendly friendship bracelet. I think this is like one of the first patterns that I did. um so yeah, you're just going to want to measure out the same length for all of your strings, and I did not edit this one so it's easy to follow along, because I know when I first started making these bracelets it was really hard to follow along when the YouTuber would cut out a lot of steps, you know what I mean? So this one's easy to just follow along to pretty much. I didn't record a whole thing obviously, but this video should be really easy for people to follow along with. Um, you might have to pause and go back a little bit, but I'll try and make it as simple as possible for anyone that's new to making bracelets. You might want to add a little bit of extra length if you're new to making bracelets, so we have room for error, and you might come across knots in your string. And so the first thing you're going to want to do is see if you can try to get the knot out. If you can't get the knot out, then you're just going to want to cut the string so you don't frustrate yourself so much. In this case, I managed to get the knot out somehow. I don't really know what I did, but I just got the knot out without really trying that much. But otherwise, I would have cut the string off so I wouldn't be too frustrated. This isn't really expensive friendship bracelet string. It's just from Walmart, but I know there's some good quality string out there. I don't know if it knots as easily or not. I don't know. Um, so yeah, you just want to get all your string cut out in the right length. Um, so yeah. And then what you're gonna want to do is find the center of all the strings. So just fold it in half so that way you can make your loop. I guess I could have cut out some of this, but again, this is so you can follow along to the video and have enough time to cut out your string and measure it out and find the center, and then you can get out a clipboard to hold all the strings in place, or you could use tape. I've heard of people using safety pins to hold it in place on a pillow, or you could just whatever you gotta do to hold the strings in place so you can find so that way the strings not moving around so much, so that way you can tie them all together, so that way you can make the loop, you know what I mean? So I gave up on a clipboard and I just used a piece of tape to hold them together. I feel like that is more secure for this part. You're just gonna do forward knots. If you can see, it kind of looks like a four when you put the string in front of the first string in front of all the other strings. So yeah, I just kind of do a couple of knots on each color. And you're going to want to do this on the other side too. So just be mindful of the fact that the more knots you do, the bigger the loop is going to be. And you can do either a circle shaped loop or a teardrop loop, depending on how many knots you do. And you're going to want to make forward knots with each color that you choose. And you're going to want to kind of keep count of how many knots you do, so that way it's even on each color. I did 5 knots with each color, but then when I go onto the other side, I do 5 knots on each color as well. So yeah. And you're going to want to do the same pattern. So I did purple, orange, and then light purple. So you're going to want to do dark purple, orange, and then light purple on the other side as well. But on the other side, you're going to want to do backwards knots, which is like forward knots, but backwards. So it looks like a backwards four if you like hold out the string. It was hard to do on a camera because I didn't really have much space on my desk, but yeah. And if you have a knot in your string, just be very careful when you go over it because it makes the string kind of weak a little bit and you might wind up with breaking it. So just when you go over, when you do a knot over a knot, like if your string has a knot in it, just be very careful and kind of make your loop a little bit bigger so it has enough, your string has enough space to go over it. So yeah. Um, on the left side, you're always going to want to do forward knot, and then on the back, the right side, you're going to do backwards knots. Yeah, and just keep doing it until you have um enough space to make a loop, if you know what I mean. Just keep doing like 5 knots with each color. If you have more than 3 strings, then you would probably want to do less than 5 knots on each color, actually, so your loop isn't so large. Oh, yeah. And then you're going to take your string off and then make the loop, which is so simple. All you have to do is tie 2 knots together from like opposite ends, and it'll be the one that's in the middle. So purple, the dark purples, the ones that you started with, or sorry, the ones that you stopped knotting with. So that would be the light purple. I'm so sorry. This is my first time making a bracelet in like 2 years. So yeah, it's been a while since I made a bracelet. And you're just gonna want to like make sure it's tight, you know what I mean? And then you're gonna want to arrange your strings. This is what the knot should look like. This looks like a teardrop loop. And for now, you're going to ignore the right side and start with the left side. And just like make sure the colors are in the right order for you to start knotting your bracelet together. You're going to start with the purple and loop it with the orange and do 2 forward knots. And sometimes it can be a little frustrating with the clipboard moving around a lot. I'm so sorry for that. And then you're gonna loop the purple with the dark purple. Oh, sorry. I skipped that. Oh, okay, so you wanna just like loop 2 knots on each string, like so. See, it looks like a 4. And then loop it with the orange. And then set the two strings that you looped with to the side because you won't need them for a while. And then you go onto the right side and then use the same color, but instead of forward knots, you're using backward knots, and you're going to do 2 knots with each string. I'm so sorry, the clipboard kept moving. And then when you have the two same colors in the center, you're going to want to make a knot out of them. It does not matter if you do a forward knot or a backward knot. You could do a forward knot and then backward knot, or a backward knot and then a forward knot. It really doesn't matter. And then you're just going to want to repeat the process again with the next color that's in the outer side. So this time it's going to be with dark purple. Again, 2 forward knots on the orange, and then 2 forward knots onto the next color, and then go on the other side and do 2 backward knots on each string, and then when the colors come together, you tie the 2 dark purples together. And it's so easy. You just keep repeating this process until the bracelet is long enough for you to wear. And keep in mind that the longer you wear it, the bracelets kind of stretch out a little bit. So you want to take really good care of your bracelet. And also, they get really stinky if you wear it like 24/7. So you take it off when you're cleaning or taking a shower or whatever, getting sweaty. You want to take it off so it doesn't smell bad. So yeah. And I clean a lot. Like, I don't wear gloves when I clean. When I like mop or do dishes, so my string got wet like constantly because I never took it off, and it smelled so bad. I had to throw it out before it broke. And so yeah, it's really easy. It's like not that hard to get the hang of. And if you want to add some flair, do forward knots. Oh, sorry, this isn't the part yet. Um, you could add beads to it too if you want to. Like, I think in this step I did add beads. After getting to both of the light purples in the center, I just added a bead on one of the strings. And you don't want to do like really big beads because I feel like that would be annoying. So you want to do like a tiny string or tiny bead so it doesn't mess it up like the pattern too much. It did mess up the pattern a little bit, but not too badly. Like by the time you get onto the next 2 colors after adding the bead, it looked normal. So yeah. Here I just added a little blue bead. It's so tiny. It actually was a part of the bead that was on one of my bracelets or necklaces, but the necklace broke, so I kept the beads, figuring I would come up with something to do with them, and obviously I did come up with something to do with them, which was adding them to the friendship bracelets. Also, my fingernails are not dirty. That is from a Sharpie. Before anyone comes at me, I do clean my hands. Either a Sharpie or a marker or something, I can't remember. And then you're just going to want to tie the strings together so like the bead does not move around. You know what I mean? And then just keep repeating the process. And then like just keep adding a bead. If you want to like do a pattern with the beads, and just keep in mind how many times you have to repeat the process until you add another bead. I gave up on the clipboard because it just kept moving around so much and it was really annoying. And if you want to add some other way to add a flare, just do a forward knot with both of the strings instead of just one. And so that way it kind of has like a bridge. I don't know if there's a term for this in the bracelet making community, but just do like forward knots with 2 strings instead of one with all of the colors, or just one color. It doesn't really matter. It's up to you. It's your bracelet. It's your life, you know. But yeah. you can do, so it kind of breaks the pattern a little bit and it makes it more unique. I like doing this when I start to get tired of doing the same thing over and over again, so it just adds a little bit of fun to your bracelet. And you want to do that on both sides, but on the right side you're going to want to do backward knots instead of doing forward knots on the left. And then if you want to add more pressure to your tape so it doesn't come off, excuse me, and I think I did like 5 knots with each color. Just not put a knot on 2 strings instead of just one, and don't like put the centers together while you're doing this. I mean, you can if you want to, but I did not do that. By the way, for anyone wondering, I think that making this bracelet took me about an hour to do, and that's while getting interrupted by a toddler, so this one doesn't take too long to make. As long as you know what you're doing with a lot of practice, it's super, super easy to make. And then once you're done making all the loops with 2 strings instead of 1, you're going to want to tie it together. And you can readjust your tape if you need to. It's really up to you. Like, and you can loop it together or tie it together by going onto the next color and just going back to step 1, or well, actually it'll be like step 2, like 3 or something like that. But yeah, just keep repeating the pattern, add beats if you want to again, or do like that bridge thing. It's something that I did, like, added to myself. I don't think I saw that in any like friendship bracelet making videos. I might have, honestly, but I don't know the videos are coming to mind right now. But yeah, of course it has been a while since I've seen like friendship bracelet making videos. I hope this video is very easy to follow along with because that was my goal. If not, I can always remake it because I'm probably going to be making a lot of bracelets again now that I have a little bit more free time on my hands every once in a while. So yeah. Also, I wanted to make the video a little bit closer to the string, but when I did that, the camera was like really fuzzy. So yeah, I had to figure something out about that. And then once your bracelet is long enough, you're going to want to tie it, obviously, so you can tie it to the loop. And what you're going to want to do, really, is just make 2 braids on each, well, 1 braid on each side. And when I do this, it's kind of annoying because there's always one string that's shorter than the others, but it's alright. And I always make the braid a little bit longer than I have to because when you tie it, some of the string kind of comes loose a little bit. So yeah, just do the best you can with braiding the leftover string and then make a knot so it stays in place. And I really messed up the other side when I was braiding it, and it came out really loose, but that should be fine as long as the knot is there. It's really annoying when their bracelet keeps moving around. And you want to make sure the braids are like at least somewhat equal in length so it doesn't look weird. And then you're going to want to tie the other braid. And then when you're done, you cut off the excess string. And then you have a bracelet. Voila! And then you can keep it to yourself, give it to your friend, sell them if you can, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know why anyone would buy one of these, but yeah. That is the friendship bracelet, the Chevron friendship bracelet. I hope this video was easy to follow along with, and that you come back for the other bracelet making videos, because I will be doing other patterns as well in different colors and other ways to start and end the bracelet. Thank you for watching.